Could a blockbuster trade between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Brooklyn Nets shake up the NBA landscape this summer? With the Cavaliers heading into what Donovan Mitchell has called a loud summer, the rumblings of potential roster changes are intensifying. Cleveland has been building steadily over the past few seasons, led by the formidable Core Four: Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. But what if the Cavs decided it was time to part ways with one of their cornerstones, specifically their 25-year-old star center, Allen? While Cleveland's front office might be inclined to retain the majority of the roster that brought them back into playoff contention, the idea of shaking things up is always on the table in today's NBA. Bleacher Report's Grant Hughes recently floated a trade idea that could move Allen to Brooklyn, and it's a deal that could make waves for both teams. The trade proposal: Brooklyn Nets receive Jarrett Allen, Cleveland Cavaliers; Jaylon Tyson, Cleveland Cavaliers, 2031 first-round pick, top 14 protected Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland Cavaliers receive Cam Johnson. Brooklyn Nets, the Cavs' perspective: why Cam Johnson? For the Cavaliers, trading away Allen and a couple of future assets would represent a significant shift in their long-term outlook. However, the acquisition of Cam Johnson would instantly bolster their lineup and potentially take them to the next level. Johnson, a versatile 3-and-D wing, has emerged as one of the most coveted players in the NBA. He spent the 2023-24 season with the Nets, averaging 18.8 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per game. Johnson shot 39% from beyond the arc, offering the type of floor spacing and defensive prowess the Cavaliers could desperately use in their forward rotation. Adding Johnson to a roster that already includes Mitchell, Garland, and Mobley would give Cleveland an ideal balance of offensive firepower and defensive integrity. With his ability to guard multiple positions, Johnson could complement Evan Mobley in the front court, forming a dynamic duo that could wreak havoc on both ends of the floor. Pairing Johnson with DeAndre Hunter, if Cleveland acquires him as part of the deal or another move, would give the Cavs a 1-2 punch at forward that would rival any in the league. It's a tough pill to swallow, giving up a former first-round pick in Jaylon Tyson and a future asset in the 2031 first-rounder. Tyson, still developing as a player, represents future potential, and that first-rounder could turn into something valuable down the road. However, in a competitive market where 3-and-D talents are in high demand, the price tag for someone like Johnson, a 29-year-old capable of fitting into nearly any system, is undoubtedly steep. Given the Cavaliers' window to contend in the next few years, adding an established asset like Johnson could be worth the sacrifice. The Nets' perspective: rebuilding with a rim protector and more assets for the Brooklyn Nets, trading away Cam Johnson would signal a further step in their rebuild, which has already begun after the departures of superstars like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. However, sending Johnson to Cleveland for Jarrett Allen, Jaylon Tyson, and a 2031 first-round pick could provide Brooklyn with a significant boost, both in terms of immediate talent and long-term flexibility. The bigger picture: a bold move for both teams. While this trade idea may not be a perfect fit for either side, it's a deal that both teams could seriously consider, especially in what's shaping up to be a chaotic NBA offseason. The Cleveland Cavaliers are on the cusp of something big, but adding someone like Cam Johnson could provide them with the versatility and depth needed to compete with the league's elite. Trading Jarrett Allen would leave a hole at center, but the addition of Johnson would fill a critical need on the wing and allow the Cavs to lean more heavily on Mobley's development as a potential future star in the post. For the Brooklyn Nets, the move would make sense from both a short-term and long-term perspective. Pairing Allen with Claxton would strengthen their defensive identity, while the future picks and assets would give them flexibility in the coming years. At the end of the day, this trade idea represents a big gamble for both sides, but sometimes Big moves are the ones that change the trajectory of a franchise. With the summer ahead and the unpredictable nature of the offseason looming, it wouldn't be surprising if the Cavs and Nets take a long, hard look at making this deal. The NBA's landscape could change drastically, and this trade idea is just one of many possible twists that could unfold as both teams look to retool for the future.